Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Welp. YouTube demonetization strikes again. Switch to Linux catches the viral money virus and is demonetized. So, I have a whole lot of videos, not a ton, but let's see, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 videos were hit by demonetization in the last, since I think it was yesterday. I checked this every day to double check that. And I'm actually, I'm not wearing it right now, but I got the hat right here because I think I know what's going on. It's all about the money. Follow the money, folks. Follow the money. So, starting about 2 or 3 days ago, I got a little notification. It was like, hey, here's a new icon here to see if you have a video that's demonetized. And so, once I saw that, I went through, double-checked the video, and every day I pretty much double-check to make sure there's no videos being demonetized. So, it turns out that last night, right after I finished the live streams that I did 2 live streams last night, one on this Linux channel and one on another channel. And it turns out that that stream, which was merely about which open source software I used to write a book, was demonetized. The video the day before that was demonetized, and the video a day before that was demonetized. So 3 videos in a row demonetized for 3 days consecutively, and then a series of other ones. Now, of course, some people are coming back and saying, you know, well, it's this new algorithm thing. Well, there's a curious little thing. And that happens to be that one of these videos that is demonetized is actually a video that was demonetized in the past. So if you can recall, then a while back I had some videos demonetized. And the one of these videos, which is on this list, down at the very, very bottom, is this Lists and Muslim Registry. This was demonetized a while back. Now, if you watch this, I am literally making the argument that says, this is a bad thing. We can't have lists and stuff like this. In fact, I even defended a list of any form or another. There's nothing bad about this. And at that time, I submitted this one particular video for a review. They reviewed it, and wouldn't you know, it came back. And it came back, and they said, oh yeah, this is appropriate for advertisers. So now I have a video that for the second time is flagged. This thing should already have something in place that says we've already looked this video over. But they don't. So what do I really think is possibly going on? Well, what I think is going on, grabbing your hat for a little bit, what I think is going on is this is about the money. You see, my channel is small, and I am just to that verge just this month that I will probably see a revenue, an ad payout 2 consecutive months in a row this month. So, in the past, it built up, and I think maybe March this year was the first time I received any payout. But since that time, it's every other month is what it takes. But one of the things that I noticed, because I check the revenue reports every day, I do 28-day, I do monthly, whatever else. And one of the things I noticed is there were several months, I should have had a payout both months. But for whatever reason, the payout amount reported to AdSense wasn't $102 like it should have been. It was $98.50. Well, if they can do that to 1 million small channels, and they can prevent 1 million small channels from getting that revenue for 1 month, 1 million times $100 is 100 million, and they have that in an interest-bearing account. That's a lot of interest. It's a lot of interest they can make. Now, sure, not a bad business move, but why is it that when on days, on months that I should have just crossed that $100 threshold for a payout, why is it only $97 or whatever was added to my AdSense account? That's a very curious thing, a very curious question. And that's one part of what I think is going on. But the second part with this is I think that right now they're targeting channels that are just crossing that revenue now. I really think that they're crossing those younger channels to knock out any of the first videos that are posted. Because knocking out the first videos that are posted means we're going to lose a lot of ad revenue, because the smaller channels, us small channels, we make our ad revenue the first couple days of videos out. Because if I push out a video, in fact, I'm going to pull something up here. Okay, so if I pull up a analytics report, this is what the system routinely looks like. Routinely, what happens is the first day the video's out, it gets a lot of views. And then you'll see it tapers down. First day it comes out, it tapers down. And then what you notice is that unless I have big enduring videos, they generally don't get a whole lot of views. But if I go back and I have a look at what the third looks like, this first video would be really big. Because this is only the last 48 hours. So in the last 48 hours, these two videos, which are new in the last 48 hours, these guys here had a lot of views and then taper down. A lot of views, taper down. A lot of views, taper down. And then it gets to the point I get a video like the outdoor philosophy, and this is why I've been toying about, pausing them for a while. Because look at this. This thing in the last 48 hours had a whopping 6 views. This one here, Tinfoil Hat Time, despite this video has 700 or 800 views or something on it, in the last 48 hours, none. So this is the type of thing that happens. And so if you can cripple the first 2 or 3 days of a video, you can cripple a channel as far as advertising revenue. Because the next factor here is that to have a video reviewed, it has to have received 1,000 views within the last 7 days. So this video here, since this is only 2 days in, it hasn't fully tapered to nothing. It has 700 views. This might cross the threshold. This video, which all this video is about, is how to use a cPanel server to run your own email. And it wasn't live. There's nothing off topic. There is absolutely 0 swear words, because I don't swear on my videos anyway, and I don't really swear a lot in my personal life either. All I'm doing is, this is a cPanel. This is how you create an email. This is how you access your email client. That's demonetized? So now that video is demonetized. Despite it's a big video for me, I could very possibly make a little bit of money on that video, but I will not make any money until that crosses the 1,000 threshold, and then it will qualify for a manual review. And so I have a prediction that I'm kind of on their list, mostly because I have crossed that threshold that if they didn't do this, they would be paying out ad revenue to me. Now, it's better if you cripple my first few videos than it is misreport the original amount, which is what I'm asserting is going to happen. I'm going to take off my tinfoil hat now because my conspiracy portion is over. But why is it? Why is it like... Okay, this video here, this Linux in Life, this was also demonetized. It's not on my list. And the reason is I switched monetization off because I will say that in this particular video, in the comment section, near the end of the video, some people asked some pretty poignant questions and I answered them. I can understand if somebody could take offense at the latter part of that video if you watched the whole 2 hours to see it. So I actually took that one off just as a precaution. But there's no reason whatsoever why either of these two videos, a simple video about cloud, like not using cloud services, setting up a cPanel and using that for your email, with no vulgarity at all, just a technical program, how you can use email on your own server, and the technical programs used to write a book. All this video is about is that I wrote my latest book exclusively on Linux. I produced it on Linux. I did the graphics on Linux. I did the 3D promo materials on Linux. Everything is on Linux. And all I do in this is pull up all of the programs that I use to teach people about the free and open source programs that I'm using to write a book. There is no reason a video like that should be demonetized. It only has 350 views about. It's probably going to stay in that permanent state of demonetization. So let's go back and have a look at the other list here. Okay, so here's the whole list of the videos that are demonetized. Book release. The induced consumption. An old tinfoil hat video. Simply talking about us as consumers consuming too much stuff. And by the way, no vulgarity in any of these because I don't swear in any of my videos. This is neat. Of course, it has the word terrorist in the title. TransUnion mislabels people as terrorists. Well, apparently YouTube's mislabeling me as a terrorist. I don't know. Which was simply an article title. This is a discussion point. Should preteens own cell phones? Twitter is officially communication and murder by text message. America, where have you gone? A commentary piece on the failure of us to being able to communicate well. Okay? This one at least has the word terrorist. This one at least has the word murder in the title. Auto-paid to oblivion? Simply talking about how signing up for auto-paid services leads to bankruptcy in America? Google and Facebook fight against opt-in privacy? It's disfavorable to the Google, but okay. The Senate takes a swing at net neutrality. Are they trying to censor the net neutrality argument now? I can get my hat again. Corporatocracy, a corporate oppression of the world. Need I say more? America has nothing to hide. Enlists and Muslim Registry, which, by the way, is a fascinating video. You should watch that one. It only has 112 views. And hey, if you guys can find 800 views for that thing, it'll actually get reviewed for the second time. This video was already reviewed and determined suitable. Monetization was turned back on for this a long time ago. Why is it showing up again? So that begs some fascinating questions. What is YouTube doing with their monetization? See, this isn't just I don't think that this is just some algorithm they released on the wild. If it was some algorithm we've released on the wild, we'd be seeing a whole lot more and interesting more cases. This is specifically targeting the latest videos small and upcoming channels are getting, which hurts the small and upcoming channels because I'm using some of this revenue to help reinvest into it, to make the quality better. If I need to buy a new microphone, this is where I'm going to get the revenue. If I need a better camera, which I do, this is where I get that revenue. And so I don't like to be reactionary. I like to, as a general trend in the world, we want to take a look at the tides and see where things are going. So I can say, first and foremost, monetization has never been the biggest strategy of it. So is this super detrimental to me? Not particularly. It does change a few things, though, I'm going to do. And one of the things I'm going to do is first I am going to start looking for another platform to also host my videos on. Just in case this gets crazier, that I'm going to start putting my most popular videos in other sources, because in reality, my popular videos, in all my videos right now, if you've noticed the trend, I'm not sending you to Patreon and I'm not exclusively going here. I'm sending you back to my site. And the reason I want to send you back to my website is that if YouTube does go totally crazy, you know where I am so you can see where I'm posting right now. Number two, if you want to help support the channel, that's where I'll make the most changes. So I'll tell you that the site to go to is switchtolinux.com/support. As of right now, there's Patreon, there's direct PayPal, and there's Amazon links down there. So those are the ways that you can support the channel. I'm looking and researching into merchandise type stuff. A lot of people have wanted a shirt like this or maybe coffee cups. I've been looking for a place that I can get a nice black coffee cup because black goes very well with my logo. Most of the places that I found that are print-to-order stuff have white coffee mugs. I think I found one site. I'm just still researching them. So I'm looking at other things like that. But in reality, the monetization has never been the biggest strategy, but it really helps, and it's one of the biggest ones that I have. Patreon is quickly becoming number 2. So I'm going to tell you that this is going to increase my Patreon involvement. That I'm going to try and do a lot better stuff for Patreon. So here is what I'm going to do. When I live stream, the live streams are still going to be public as they've always been. So you can catch the live stream. But as soon as the live stream is over, the video will be demonetized and delisted. I'm going to take off monetization. I'm going to delist it. And then that video will be available to any patron of any level on my Patreon page. So if you still want to see the full and unedited video of the live streams, no matter what the topic is, be on Patreon. You can get the direct link to that, which of course will still be on YouTube. But as long as you don't monetize, as long as you don't turn on monetization, they don't do anything with the videos. So you can still get that direct link. Well, unless, of course, I fall into that weird realm of you have to be over here and you can't watch it on a separate site. I don't know. Whatever. We'll deal with that path if it gets to it. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of pull a play from Brian Lenduke where he'll record his live streams, but it's not the live stream that goes online. What he records is he records his live stream, so if you watch it live, you can see it, and then he records it simultaneously, and then he'll edit it out and put an edited version up on YouTube later. That's what I'm going to do. So moving forward, I'm going to be pulling those videos out as soon as the live stream is over. It's going to be unlisted, and feel free to share it if you want, if you can find the link to it. But the patrons will have access to the unedited version, and I will, at a later date, upload an edited version to YouTube. So the video content will still be there, but that way I can make sure I edit out. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, if you ask me questions in the comments, I don't really care if I offend people, to be perfectly honest. But I want to try and get the uploads to the point where they are focusing more on the Linux and stuff. And I realize and cognizant of the fact that when I'm doing a live stream video, sometimes if somebody wants to see the content I'm talking about, they have to sometimes sift through 20 or 30 minutes of staring at comments for a while, which could very well get boring. It could be fascinating. If you love it, you can get that on Patreon. If you just want to see the content, though, I'm going to be filtering out the comments and doing just the content on the video. So I'll be uploading the videos a little bit later. What that means is I'm going to probably end up doing 1 or 2 less videos a week, maybe 2 or 3 less videos a week, one for each of the live streams. And the reason I'm going to do that is I have to find the time to edit out the streams that I'm doing, and what I'm going to have to do is use one of those as the extra days to do that. So we're going to do a few less videos, I think, but in reality, I think that it's going to be better in the long run because I also have the other channels that I'm trying to build up. And then I think what I'm going to try and do is get more stuff going on the Home Cooking Hacks channel than I have in the past, mostly because that has the potential to be the least controversial channel that I possibly have. I mean, going to demonetize my making tacos homemade? I mean, come on, people. If YouTube gets to that point, I'm really going to start scratching my head. So really, in reality, I'm not going to be, I'm not super like, but at the same time, I want you to know this is affecting how I run the videos and how I run the channel. And so you'll see some channel differences because of that, because I'm going to take those live streams. So going forward, you're not going to see as many of those live stream with the old comments as posted as old videos. We're going to take those down, put those on Patreon for you people that do want to see the full views. Go over there. And if I get enough requests that people want to see those, in fact, I don't know, I might do this anyway. What I'm thinking is I have the ability, since I already have WooCommerce set up on one of my stores, I might just port it over to switch to Linux as well. And then what I could actually do is kind of like what Eli the computer guy did, is I can have a pay for post or pay a subscription where I could literally create a page, and if you want to pay $1 a month to see the unedited versions of stuff, they'll all be listed over there. But I'm not going to have them public. If I'm not going to monetize them and they have the potential to be creepy in YouTube's eyes, I'm going to make them unlisted. That's just what I'm going to do. And so we're going to do that. Let's see, what else will I do? I think that might be about it. So those are the types of changes that you should expect to see on the channel thanks to this. And, and if, maybe if enough people jump up with sound reason, it just doesn't make sense. This is like Joe Collins, like demonetizing a video on the terminal where a guy doesn't swear at all. What is going on? And I do not buy this is an algorithm issue. People are like, it's just an algorithm. It's a nuclear option. Throw it out, algorithm, blah, blah. No, I disagree. It's a money issue because it's impacting the channels that are just getting to that threshold to pay out once a month. You see, this is an interesting thing. Penn State main campus. I live just a few miles from Penn State main campus. And Penn State's policy on their paychecks is employees are paid the last working day of the month. Okay, is when the employees are paid. And so in the Christmas holiday, in the month of December, what's really hilarious is it's like usually like the 28th or 29th. One day in the middle of that break between Christmas and New Year's is a working day for campus. Now, about 99% of the employees have the day off, but it's still a working day. Because if they did not do that, they would have to pay out all of their employee paychecks 7 days earlier, and that gives them a lot of revenue. I think that that's what this is about with YouTube. I think that they're specifically targeting the younger channels that are up and coming, because those channels give them enough ad revenue, but enough that they want to back them down. They want to slap them down a little bit, like whack-a-mole them back down, so they don't have to do payouts as much. And there's 2 ways to do that. Misreport the AdSense, but like I said, this is the very first month. I got to get my hat, because this is all conspiracy. This is my conjecture. Okay, my conjecture is by knocking out, by first misreporting the numbers, they can still delay for a month. But by demonetizing the most recent few videos you do until you get 1,000 views on a small channel, you're going to knock it out in such a way you don't have to pay for the initial views on those videos. It's a great money-saving way, and I think it's bad integrity, very bad corporate integrity, absolutely, absolutely, very bad corporate integrity, because all that's happening now is all the money now is just going to all of the bigger places. Guys, they got enough. Let's give the small channels a chance. And I get that you can't, the biggest problem here is that I can't just go in and suggest a manual review. To have a manual review done, I have to cross 1,000 views over the last 7 days. Well, that means, as Joe Collins rightly points out, 1,000 days in the first few days of a small channel's video, that's all their revenue. I could very possibly see a 90% reduction in revenue on this channel because of this one thing. But, you know, I caught the money virus. I came up on their radar. It's what I got to do. So, if you want to help support this channel anyway, without having the necessity of the ads, check out switchtolinux.com/support. You can come on over there and you can see the best ways to support us. As of right now, there's a direct PayPal link. If you want to just shoot over a donation, you can do that. There's Patreon. You can do that. And there is an Amazon link there. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this. Do you think my conspiracy is right? Do you think I'm off base? Do you think it's something else? Also, let me know in the comments down below should I hustle on merchandise? If enough people would say, I'd buy a shirt or whatever else, I'll hustle on merchandise. If not, it takes a lot of time away from the time I should be doing other things like building websites so I can pay my bills. I really can't spend a lot of time on it if only 3 or 4 people are going to buy something. I just don't have the time. The second thing is, should we look at doing a members-only portal on switchtolinux.com? Maybe see some more articles, maybe some internal forums that are off of YouTube, maybe just viewing access to the live streams here. Like if you have a quibble with Patreon and you don't want to sign up over there, but you'd shoot me something through PayPal, I could do that. I could make that happen. That's actually lower overhead than working out products in stores. Let me know what you guys think of all that. So thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.